Hi, I've made many attempts at recording this video, and I decided to write down what I wanted to say and to just read it because I'm obviously I'm getting too emotional about it, and I'm going off on rants. And so here goes. I apologize in advance for how this might turn out, but this is what I can do. I've not made an English video for over a year now. There are plenty of reasons for this, some of which had to do with priorities. I feel that my effort and time would be put to better use if I made videos in Arabic. The fact that there is plenty of English content spreading atheistic thought and skeptical thinking brought me to this conclusion. There is also the fact that the quality of the videos I make would not be very effective in English. There are plenty of high-quality content creators making the same points I would make in English, while practically none exist in Arabic. And now that I have explained why I don't make English videos, let me explain why I'm making this one. In order to do this, I have to draw you a picture of the world as I see it and what my expectations are. I see a world in which it is almost suicidal to profess a lack of a belief in a deity. Throughout the world, atheists face persecution, the prospect of violence, and this for simply being found out to be atheists. I see women and gays being burnt to death in Africa because of Christian bigotry. I see people like Hamza Kashgari and Albert Saber and many more being persecuted and even facing the death penalty for what can be described as a mild criticism of religion and theocracy. I see a world in which 50% of the world's human residents, that is, our mothers and sisters, have only the right to be killed for the honor of their male relatives. This is how I see the world. But I also see a sizable and affluent atheist population in a small part of the world, mainly in the West. As I read about history and our position in the world during past eras, I see that our position in these societies has improved much. Being an immigrant to the West, and having had the privilege of maturing here, I recognize how truly lucky I am. We live in a place where we can freely organize and pool our resources without fear of persecution and violence. We live where we can make a difference with very little risk to our own lives. Recently, we've even started to do just that. However, I have watched recently a descent from high hopes and wonderful ideals to a world of petty squabbles and infighting. This over what I consider trivial issues. I see that empty-headed, egotistical, and ridiculous flesh bags have turned what could be a support base for non-believers and those fighting theocracy here and abroad into nothing more than a bad joke. Women and men throughout the world face persecution every day, while we have elected to worry about coffee and fake jewelry. I see resources being wasted on nothing. While I am positive that sexism and misogyny still exist even in the atheist community, I cannot help but feel despair at what I see. Instead of thunderfoot videos about Albert Sauber, I see wasted effort on worthless egomaniacs. Instead of Matt Dillahunty videos on Hamza Kashgari and Ali al-Magdi, I see a waste of time on defending the absurd. I have in the past done some things relating to the treatment of women, of which I am deeply ashamed. I now strongly believe in the equal standing of women in society and know that there is much to be done. The main reason for this was my letting go of religious doctrine, which emphasizes the honor of men and male domination. In other words, it's because of Dawkins and not Watson. So what am I saying? I'm only asking whether it is wise. Whether it is wise to use our time and resources on this infighting instead of freeing as many as we can from the chains that shackle most of humanity. Is it wise to divert critical resources that could help people in real trouble to deal with what is by all accounts a minor problem? I think not. Instead of this, why is there not a serious effort to spread our ideas to places like the Middle East? Why are our resources not spent bringing lawsuits against countries for clear violations of human rights of atheists worldwide to the International Criminal Court? It seems that we are too self-involved and lacking in compassion. It seems that Christians care more about the persecution of one Christian than we do about countless atheists and freedom seekers that desperately need our help. At this point, I would like to tell you what I expect. Honestly, I don't expect much. I know that most of you don't care. I know that instead of helping Albert Sauber, you see fit to waste our resources on who asks who out for a coffee and when. I see that you care more about what kind of jewelry is appropriate at conferences instead of Hamza Kashgari's life. And in despair, I decided to make this video, even though I know almost no one will listen. But this is all I can do. And while this is a sad story, it is in fact true.